Hi everyone, welcome to the latest of the Redeemer Kids Church Online. So today we've got another Bible story for you, and this one is about a fishing trip. In fact, it's about not just one fishing trip, but two. Now, before we start, don't know what you know about fishing. I don't know much. What of course you're trying to do, catch the fish. And one way you can do that is, if that's the sea or the lake and that's the shore, you can get your fishing rod. There's our fishing rod, and then we can find a man, and you can stand on the shore and you can cast out your line, and then you can wait and wait and wait. And that's a lot of what fishing is. It's waiting to see if the fish bites. So that's one way you can do it. You can be on the shore with your rod and line and trying to catch the fish. But there is another way. How about this? Rather than doing that, you can get a boat and you can go out where there's lots more fish further out into the lake. And instead of using a rod, you can use a net. But what I need now, of course, is a boat, don't I? I need a boat so I can go out to where the fish are with my net. So in these days of lockdown, I was looking round to see what kind of a boat I could find. And I came across this one. See what you think. Do you think this will be a good boat to use? Let's put him back up. It's my pirate ship. Now, this is a really, really special ship. It's got cannons, it's got pirates, it's got rigging, it's got people everywhere, it's got crossbows, it's got everything you could imagine. So what I could do, maybe I could persuade the pirates to stop being pirates for a little while, and instead get my net and tie it on here, and maybe we could get them to just wait a while and try and catch lots and lots of fish for us. You think they'd do it? Yeah, maybe not. Okay, let's think again. So maybe the pirate ship isn't going to work. What else have we got? So I was looking around the house a little bit more, and then I found another boat. Let's try this one. So this is another very special boat. See what you think to this. So this is my Noah's Ark. Maybe we could persuade Noah and Mrs. Noah to take the net and lower it down and maybe try and catch some fish in the water. But it's so big, it doesn't even fit in the lake, does it? Okay. So maybe that's not going to work either. I'm sure even if they did catch the fish, there's nowhere to put them. There's so many animals on Noah's Ark. There's no room for a whole catch of fish. So maybe I need to think again before I can start telling my Bible story. Okay, so let's try and find another boat. How about that? I think that's going to be better, isn't it? All right, so we've got our small boat and we've got our net. What we just need now is somebody to be out fishing in the lake. And this is where we start our first story of today. Remember I said there was two stories about fishing, but before we do, there's two things I want to say. Firstly, I've got a big rock here. Remind me at the end, if I forget, remind me to tell you something about the rock. That's important. And secondly, the second thing is really, really important. There's a guy in the story called Simon, but he's also called Peter. Some people call him Simon, some people call him Peter, and we'll find out why later. That's Peter in the boat. Now the first story is from, I'm going to read from the Bible again, and it's from Luke chapter 5. But I'm going to tell the story with my people. So Jesus was on the shore and he was teaching the people. Okay, we need some people, don't we? So he was teaching lots of people and he was telling them some amazing things. He was telling them how they should live their lives. He was healing people. Things were going pretty well. But the crowd was getting too big. There was too many of them. So he said to Peter, he said, "Come back to shore, Peter." And so Peter, in fact, Peter's already at the shore because he was sorting out his nets. He said to Peter, "Let me just get into your boat." So Jesus got into the boat and they went out a little bit. And Jesus then started teaching all the crowds. There was massive, massive crowds by now. Started teaching all the crowds from the boat. And he taught them loads of amazing things. But he hadn't stopped there. See, Peter had been out all night with his nets and he caught no fish at all. And Jesus said to Peter, he said, "Cast your net out the other side." So he cast it out the other side of his boat. And he says, "Now see what you catch." And Peter caught so many fish in his net, so many fish. It was unbelievable. Loads and loads of fish. He couldn't believe it. Jesus had one more thing to say to Peter when they got to shore. He said, "Peter, what you need to do now is leave your boat, leave your net, and you're still going to be a fisherman, but you're now going to be a fisher of men." So that is the first part of the story. Now, that was right at the start of Jesus' 3 years where he did miracles, he did healings, he taught people, he did the most incredible thing. And Peter was one of the 12 disciples that Jesus had that went pretty much everywhere with him. And Peter was there all the way through and did some great things. But Peter himself actually did mess up. If you remember, we talked about this over the last few weeks before Easter, when Jesus was arrested, rather than standing by Jesus, Peter denied Jesus 3 times. And let me try and find a cockerel. Here we go. And if you remember, when the cockerel crowed, Peter realised that he denied Jesus. Rather than trying to support Jesus after being arrested, Peter denied Jesus. And he went away feeling terrible, absolutely terrible. But now, if you remember, we've already told the story of Jesus dying on the cross and coming back to life again, the resurrection. Jesus was alive. He wasn't just some kind of ghost. He was truly alive. And he started to appear to various people. And we're going to pick that up again in the Bible. Okay, so let's just move these people off. And then we're going to read some more from the Bible. And we're going to try and tell the story as we go along. So we're back in the Bible here. And this time we're going to read from John. And it's chapter 21. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and read the story and act it out with the Playmobil people at the same time. It says, "Later, Jesus showed himself to his followers by Lake Galilee." Oh, that's good. So we've got the lake, we've got the beach. What we need is Jesus. And there's Jesus. And here are some of Jesus's followers. Let's try and put those up like that. Okay, so there's Jesus and the followers. I suppose we want Jesus turned around, don't we, to face them all. So later, Jesus showed himself to his followers by Lake Galilee. This is how it happened. Some of the followers were together. They were Simon Peter. Remember I said sometimes you call Simon, sometimes you call Peter. This time it's called both. They were Simon Peter, Thomas, Nathanael from Cana in Galilee, and the 2 sons of Zebedee, and 2 other followers. Simon Peter said, "I'm going out to fish." Okay, so here we are. Here is Simon Peter, and he's going out to fish. The other followers said, "We'll go with you." So they went out and got into the boat. Now, I've only got a very small boat here, so you're going to have to use your imagination. Let's try and get at least another one in there. Okay, we've got 3 of them in the boat. Brilliant. So the other followers said, "We'll go with you." So they went out and got into the boat. They fished that night. Okay, so they need their net, don't they? They fished their night, but they caught nothing. Early the next morning, Jesus stood on the shore. Okay, there we've got Jesus on the shore. Now I need some other things here, I think. Yeah. So early next morning, Jesus stood on the shore, but the followers did not know that it was Jesus. Then he said to them, "Friends, have you caught any fish?" They answered, "No." He said, "Throw out your net into the water on the right side of the boat." Okay, so they're left at the moment, aren't they? So put it on the right side of the boat. And you will find some. So they did this. They caught so many fish that they couldn't pull the net back into the boat. So I'm going to put some fish in there. Fantastic. The follower who Jesus loved, that had to be John, said to Peter, "It's the Lord." When Peter heard him say this, he wrapped his coat around himself. Then he jumped into the water. The others followed and went to shore in the boat. Okay, so Peter has to, that's a shame because Peter's got the oar, but he's going to shore. Let's get him off to shore. So he's going off to shore like that, and then the others followed in the boat like that. Of course, they've got all their fish in the net as well. So the other followers went to shore in the boat, dragging the net full of fish. They were not very far from the shore, only about 100 meters, when the followers stepped out of the boat onto the shore. There they saw a fire of hot coals. Okay, right, so we need a fire of hot coals. Okay, so we've got that. Look, so there's our fire. Let's put that there. And I think I need some more fish and some more bread in a second. So let's read that bit again. So they were not very far from the shore, only about 100 meters. When the followers stepped out of the boat onto the shore, they saw a fire of hot coals. There were fish on the fire, and there was bread. So I'm going to put the fish on the fire. Let's move the boat out of the way so you can see that, the fish on the fire. And there's also some bread. So let's put that there too. Then Jesus said, "Bring some of the fish that you've caught." Simon Peter went into the boat and pulled the net to the shore. So where's Simon Peter? Okay, there he is. And he's pulling the net to the shore. There were 153 fish. Even though there were so many, the net did not tear. Jesus said to them, "Come and eat." None of the followers dared ask him, "Who are you?" They knew it was the Lord. Jesus came and took the bread and gave it to them. He also gave them the fish. This was now the third time that Jesus showed himself to the followers after he was raised from the dead. Now, remember, I had to tell you something about a rock, didn't I? Now, the thing was, Peter, if you remember, he'd messed up, hadn't he? He'd messed up big time. When Jesus had been arrested, he denied Jesus 3 times. And he thought, maybe that's it, I'm done for. I can't really serve Jesus anymore now. But this is the most incredible thing. And it happens all the way through the Bible. So many people in the Bible messed up. You can think of people like Moses, people like Abraham, people like David. They all messed up, but they said sorry. They asked for forgiveness to God for the wrong things they'd done, and they were restored. And this was just about to happen to Peter. Jesus took Peter to one side, away from the others, and he asked him 3 times. He said, "Do you love me?" And Peter said, "Yes, I do." And what he was doing, it was a sign. It was to say to Peter, "You are restored." And in fact, that name Peter, if you remember, this guy had the name Simon. That was his original name. And it was in fact Jesus that called him Peter. Peter means rock. And Jesus actually said this about Peter. He said, "So I tell you, you are Peter, and I will build my church on this rock." If you want to find that, it's in Matthew 16, verse 18. So the thing I really love about this story is not just that these guys got to catch some fish, which was great, not just that they got to meet Jesus again, which was great. It's that this is a God of the second chance and the third chance and the fourth chance. We all mess up, we all get things wrong, we always try to do our best to follow God, to follow Jesus, but we all mess up. And if we say sorry, if we ask for forgiveness, just like in this story where Jesus went to Peter and restored him. That can happen to us too. So I hope you've really enjoyed the story today, and we've got one more thing just to finish off. I've told this story using Playmobil. Maybe you've got Playmobil at home, maybe you've got Lego, maybe you've got all sorts of other things, maybe you've just got pens and paper, maybe you've got Play-Doh. Why don't you think of your favourite Bible story and maybe draw a picture or make something out of Lego or do something with Playmobil that helps remind you of the story. And maybe you could put it onto, you could email the church at info@redeemerking.com, or you could put it on the church Facebook page and show everyone else what you've done. Well, I hope you have a great week. Remember to have a look at the email that comes out with all the colourings and puzzles and other things that we do as well. And we'll talk to you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye.